Now let's talk about a very special type of cell division, meiosis. Meiosis occurs in germ cells in your ovaries or testes, and meiosis is for producing haploid gametes. Um, we are a species that uses sexual reproduction. That means that two individuals are going to contribute DNA to a single offspring. If you were to give all of your chromosomes to the kid and your mate gave all of his or her chromosomes to the kid would have 92 chromosomes, and that's just not going to work. So we need a special type of cell division where we have the number of chromosomes. Haploid literally means half, half set. And so instead of having two chromosomes of each type, these cells are going to have just one chromosome from each pair. Again, what we call haploid. Um, Meiosis is going to involve two cell divisions. The first cell division, meiosis 1, is the one that's very, very different. This is the only time when we're really going to talk about the homologous chromosomes. Just a little hint, if you have to use the word homologous to describe it, you're describing meiosis 1. Meiosis 2 is very much like mitosis, as you'll see. So let's start with our diploid cell with our duplicated chromosomes. Again, two long ones and two short ones. Long yellow, long red, short yellow, short red. Notice that in prophase 1, the homologous chromosomes are in synapse or synapses. They are touching all along their length, and while they're touching, crossing over occurs. During crossing over, the homologous chromosomes are going to exchange genes. And this is going to lead to an amazing amount of variation in the gametes. Here you can see two crossover points, one on the long pair and one on the short pair. In reality, crossing over happens multiple times for each pair of homologous chromosomes. Metaphase 1 is also very, very different from metaphase of mitosis. Here, the chromosomes line up in pairs. The homologous chromosomes are lining up side by side. The two long ones are together and the two short ones are side by side. Now, the way the chromosomes line up can really affect what gametes you end up with. Notice that in the image on the left, you have the long yellow on top and the short red on top, whereas on the right, you have the long yellow on top and the short yellow on top. This would result in very, very different gametes. So again, here are two ways that the chromosomes could line up. We call it independent assortment because what chromosome pair 1 does is independent of what chromosome pair 2 does. Because we have 23 pairs of chromosomes, there are more than 8 million possible ways that the gametes can turn out because of independent assortment. Here you can see that in our little demonstration cell, just because of independent assortment, 4 different types of gametes can be formed. Anaphase 1, also very different from mitosis. Here you can see we are separating the homologous chromosomes. Again, we have to use that word homologous. The sister chromatids are going to stay together at this point. Here we are in telophase 1, and again, cytokinesis will occur, nucleus will form, etc. And we're left with two cells. Take a good look at these two cells. Please notice that in the top cell we have one long chromosome and one short chromosome, and in the bottom cell we also have one long and one short chromosome. So, are these cells haploid or diploid? Remember, diploid means the cell has two chromosomes of each type. Haploid means it has one chromosome of each type. These cells are clearly haploid. So, why do we have to go through meiosis 2? Because chromosomes don't typically have two chromatids. So, just like in mitosis, we're going to separate those sister chromatids. So, the chromosomes line up along the equator of the cell again, but they're lining up single file. Again, a homologous chromosome can't line up with its pair. Its pair is already in a different cell. During anaphase 2, just like during mitosis, the sister chromatids are going to be pulled apart. And in telophase or telophase, cytokinesis occurs and we are left with 4 separate cells. Notice that each of our 4 daughter cells got 1 long chromosome and 1 short chromosome. Each of our 4 cells is haploid and each cell is different. Now is a good time to just take a step back and think about differences between mitosis and meiosis. I really like this diagram because it shows you the starting cell. So there's our parent cell, 2n equal 4, pair of long ones, pair of short ones. With mitosis, you go through 1 division and you end up at the end with 2 cells, 2 diploid cells, identical to the cell we started with. On the right, you see meiosis. We start with that same parent cell, but this time we go through 2 cell divisions, meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. Notice that we end up with 4 haploid cells. Each has just 1 chromosome from each pair. And so the cells are haploid, 1n or n. Might be a good time now to just take a minute and consider this chart. Can you fill it in? Do you know differences between mitosis and meiosis? So there you have it. Just something for you to work on if you like.